Evening, folks. Melvin here. Most of you are probably gazing upon my stunning visage and thinking, damn, Melvin looks fly as f***. To which I would respond, yes I do, thank you. And also, watch your f***ing language. Now the reason for my unusually dapper dress wear has to do with the subject of this episode, the gentleman. The gentleman is the last bastion of decency amidst a festering cesspool of impropriety. From the clothing to the conduct, he seeks to embody the best possible characteristics of his fellow man while adding a dash of charisma and a pinch of charm for the ladies. It's this relentless pursuit of a higher standard that has led me to dedicate this episode to the top 10 gentlemen in gaming. And in the interest of fair play, I have removed myself as a potential candidate. Even though we all know I would totally win. Politely opening the door for our list is the hitman himself, Agent 47. Like a hot young daddy Warbucks, he's got style and class in spades. Spades like a shovel. A shovel he would use to beat the living shit out of someone. Now, some of you might be saying, but Melvin, how can you call this man a gentleman when he brutally kills people without a moment's hesitation or an ounce of remorse? Simple, because he looks so damn good doing it. The suit, the gloves, the perfectly shaved head. Hell, he even carries his own dental floss around. Talk about hygiene. Oh, that's a garroting wire. Yeah, he's dead. Look, if we bust out the old crazy hot ratio and apply it to Agent 47, we can clearly see that he lands high enough above the line to earn himself a spot on this list. Now let's just hope I never end up on his list, because it's way more murdery. All one needs is but a passing glance at Pandora's resident big game hunter and adventurer extraordinaire Sir Alistair Hammerlock to see why he made the list. Whether it be mutton chops that would make General Burnside jelly, clothing stolen from Teddy Roosevelt's personal collection, or simply the fact that the game literally tells you he's a gentleman, you immediately understand that this particular gentleman is in fact a gentleman. Sure, he might seem a little rough around the edges compared to some of the other folks on this list, but when you consider the fact that the majority of the citizens on Pandora are like this,
I'm the conductor of the poop train!
It becomes a lot easier to forgive Sir Hammerlock when he has moments like this.
You know what? Bonafart. All of the bets right, we're calling them Bonafarts now.
boner farts.
In fiction, there are two kinds of thieves. There's the lowlife ones that are cool with also murdering their victims, leaving the child of said victims orphaned and angry until he one day grows up and becomes Batman. And then there's the suave, roguishly charming type that almost makes thievery seem classy. Sly Cooper, gaming's resident raccoony robber, fits squarely into the latter group. Like an anthropomorphic Danny Ocean, this charismatic cat burglar has a strict code of honor. He only steals from other thieves, which is hardly even a crime when you really think about it.
Don't quote me on that though.
Add to that the fact that he's also an equal opportunity employer, as evidenced by his continued partnership with Bentley even after he becomes wheelchair bound, and it's easy to see why he's not only stolen our hearts, but also a place on this list. In the summer of 2014, a little indie gem called Shovel Knight shoveled its way into our hearts with its exquisite blend of Mega Man, DuckTales, and Dark Soulsian elements. But perhaps what surprised us most of all was the overwhelming quantity of chivalry, charisma, and courage found in its titular hero, Shovel Knight. So what makes him such a gentleman? Well, right off the bat, he's a knight. And as a knight, he's been trained since birth to exemplify virtues like righteousness and honor, and unlike the other knights in this game, he's never forsaken his knightly vows.
I'm looking at you, Plague Knight, you springy bitch.
But it doesn't end there. He's always willing to help a townsperson in need, only fights when he absolutely has to, and even when asleep, he'll still always go out of his way to save a maiden in peril. Heck, just take a look at his weapon of choice. Did he go with a mason chain or rusty battle axe? No, those are far too barbaric. Instead, he went with the humble shovel, a tool used to construct, build, create, not something to be waved around haphazardly, causing errant destruction.
Well, shit. Now I just look silly. Real crack job on the edit there, Ryan.
What sets BioShock's Andrew Ryan on a level above and beyond that of the average gentleman is that rather than being content with simply personifying a higher standard of ideals, he went and dedicated his life and fortune to creating a haven for like-minded individuals in the form of the underwater utopia Rapture. And while sure, he might have gone a little off the deep end, and Rapture itself might have gone a bit tits up, it's not entirely Andrew Ryan's fault. I mean, who could have predicted the discovery of a sea slug that essentially gives people superpowers?
Because once your citizens start summoning swarms of angry bees out of thin air, all bets are off.
The Mass Effect series, if nothing else, is about choice. You can choose to play Shepard as a renegade, but Renegade Shepard is a dick. He punches reporters, kills super awesome party members, and just generally pisses off those around him. Renegade Shepard is also not on this list. Paragon Shepard, however, is. Paragon Shepard is kind and respectful to his friends and lovers, helps those in need, and he's even been known to endorse the occasional Citadel shop.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Look, he's just a super swell dude. He can be the life of the party, or even just sit down with you one-on-one and have a deep, meaningful conversation. Plus, he's hot, which helps. When Capcom released Street Fighter III in the late 90s, they not only revamped many of the fighting mechanics, but most of the roster as well. Out was the scrappy American boxer Balrog, and in his place we got the polite and proper pugilist Dudley. Born into a wealthy British family, Dudley always dreamed of becoming a world-class boxer. However, it wasn't until his father lost his fortune that Dudley's dreams finally became a reality. Honing his body and mind, he was eventually successful enough to win it all back in the boxing ring. Plus, he wears a dress shirt, suspenders, bow tie, and a cummerbund when he fights.
A mother-flippin' cummerbund! Boy straight dripping with swag.
Look, you might think I'm crazy here for including old DK on the list, but just think about it. Donkey Kong is a gorilla, a species that finds the flinging of one's own poop to be completely socially acceptable. Then along comes DK and what's that around his neck? Yeah, that's right, a tie, a piece of human formal wear that Donkey Kong has elected to wear of his own free will without any social pressure to do so. Personally, I think it speaks volumes as to the quality of his character, and it's why I've included him on this list.
And before you try pointing out that all the other Kongs wear clothing, let me counter your pointing out with a pointing out of my own.
Which is that while that may in fact be true, they're all busy rocking basic shit like wife beaters and baseball caps, while Donkey Kong is over here sporting a double Windsor like a boss. Get it together, DK crew. Team Fortress 2's spy is your classic Cold War era gentleman spy. He's impeccably dressed, well-mannered, and his wits are as sharp as his butterfly knife.
Though his knife does kill in one hit, so maybe not as sharp.
His taste for the finer things in life can clearly be seen in the Expiration Date short film,
Which is excellent, and you should definitely watch if you haven't already. After this video.
where it establishes that he has a smoking room, subscribes to the Dapper Cadaver magazine, and spends, as a montage would lead us to believe, 49 consecutive hours training Scout how to properly court a woman as a gentleman. And when you're teaching a guy whose go-to pickup line is this,
Both got buckets of chicken. You want to do it?
Okay.
you've got your work cut out for you. As France's closest approximation to James Bond, the spy is just about as gentlemanly as it gets. Just about. Yep, you guessed it.
Or maybe you didn't.
Either way, the gold medal for gaming gentlemanliness goes to none other than Professor Herschel Layton. Protagonist of the Professor Layton series, he's basically what you get if Sherlock Holmes traded in his opium habit for a stylish top hat. Possessing strength of heart, body, and mind, Layton is a caring soul who's always willing to help a person in need. He's also the most educated of the bunch, sporting a PhD in archaeology, putting him right up there alongside fellow fictional archaeologists like Indiana Jones, Laura Croft, and Dr. Nicolas Cage. And when he's not out traversing the world and solving mysteries, he's at home enjoying a hot spot of tea in the company of Luke, his little boy companion.
Okay, the part about the little boy sounded weird, but yeah, you get the idea.
And there you have it, folks, the top 10 gentlemen in gaming. So the next time you're loafing around on the sofa wearing a food-stained tuxedo t-shirt, pop in a game featuring any of these classy characters and give yourself a refresher course in refinement.
Well, that's all the time we have for you this evening, folks. I'm Melvin, and I will definitely see you again soon. Maybe. Hey folks, thanks for watching. This video was made as part of Made Man's Gentleman Up campaign to support men in need. You can show your support by dressing up on October 9th for Formal Friday, and be sure to share your experience on mademan.com using the hashtag Formal Friday. You can find out more by clicking on the link in the description below. Be sure to click that subscribe button to keep up to date on all the latest Warp Zone content. And if you'd like to see a funny animated video about video game characters using Twitter, click the video on the left. Or if you'd rather see a funny Mario Maker sketch, click the video on the right. Anywho, if you think we missed any good gaming gentlemen, go ahead and leave a politely worded, well-thought-out comment that doesn't shatter our brittle and emotionally unstable hearts. Okay, Melvy out.